I would say you need to have someone like us come out and review your plant, see what the problem is. Um, but I think the general idea is probably something that a lot of people maybe feel, experience at their plants. So they feel like they've got everything. Why is it still such a mess? Or the other way could be a lot of people kind of just are resigned to the fact, oh, I work in this industry, it must be dirty all the time. We have one of our customers, mining minerals, things like that. For many years, the plant culture, the company culture was that this is a very dirty job and you go home completely dirty every day. And then after some new ownership came in, um, doing the same thing at their plants, they were spotless. And it's been taking many, many years to change the culture to the idea that no, you can have the same process and do it, and the plant be relatively clean, right? Um, so a lot of times, if you have all the equipment and the plant is still very dirty, a lot of times it's like we said, these smaller things. It's the ductwork that has been modified a million times over the years, and now everybody just assumes that's as good as baghouses work. They suck up most of the dust, but the area around that machine is always going to have dust all over the place. But that is not a adequately functioning baghouse. Um, that's like a chugging along baghouse that's just barely alive, right? When it's designed correctly, maintained correctly, and operated correctly, dust collection systems will get 99.99999% of all the dust that's generated from something. So there's no reason you have a Raymond mill, there's no reason you have kettles, if you have belt conveyors, crushers, none of those machines are incapable of being clean around them if you have the dust collection designed right. So it might be redoing the duct work, might be that too many things have been added onto it, so you got to remove things and make sure the full power of the system is going to the pickups as it's intended. Or it's just maintaining it again. Sometimes we go and they don't change the filters, or they change them every 10 years, and they think that's normal because they don't have the DP gauge telling them it's 10 or 12 inches. They see a broken gauge with water in it, and it says 1 inch, and they go, oh, well, our air permit says less than 5, so we must be good. And then you put a new gauge on, and you see it's actually like 10, 12, so there's no suction basically through the system, right? So it could be a lot of different things. But this is where when we come into our inspections and then our training, a lot of times plants are able to finally figure out the problems. It's not because we're so much smarter than everybody and all this. And it's not that the plants are so negligent or anything like that. It's just you need somebody sometimes to come and point out things in a very specific way and then lay out a roadmap that you can follow. You just don't have the bandwidth to be making cement, to be working in mining, doing all the things you're supposed to do, and then somehow also be experts in dust collection. So having us come, find all the little problems, lay it out, and give you a pathway to fixing them all. Many times that's all it takes. And then what you have is fine. You don't need to buy new equipment. You just need to use what you have adequately and maybe show a little bit more care to it, and then it'll work just fine.